For example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now.
Meanwhile,
wind, they want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem.
Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. Well, it finally happened.
And the American media needs to do its job and ask tough questions. But of course, she's not submitting for any of those, Kaylee. She's hiding. She's trying to run a campaign in a basement like her mentor Joe Biden did.
No, that can't be right. No, because this was after the interview happened. So why would he say that after the interview? That doesn't make any. That doesn't. I mean, she left that and immediately went to a campaign rally.
So, Savannah, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, God bless you and God bless the United States of America.
In fact, the campaign rally that she went to after the interview is literally in the box next to Mike Johnson.
So our job is to make sure that the people know it. And the American media needs to do its job and ask tough questions. But of course, she's not submitting for any of those, Kaylee. She's hiding. She's trying to run a campaign in a basement like her mentor Joe Biden did.
They really do think their viewers are idiots. Well, it finally happened. What? Why did she bring Tim Walz? I don't know. Maybe tradition?
Her handlers don't even trust her to survive a softball CNN interview. So Coach Walz is going to chaperone tomorrow night at 9. Mr. President, Senator, I don't know what we have to talk about. It's been pretty boring.
They really do think their viewers are idiots. Well, it finally happened. Kamala Harris gave her first sit-down interview to CNN's Dana Bash, where she addressed what's been on the hearts and minds of so many Americans. Are you black?
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump.
Okay.
I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
I was just playing. That was well played, though, Kamala. That was very well played. See, she's saving that smoke for the debate. I see you. I see you. One thing I've learned. Don't think because I didn't drag you now means I won't drag you later. She hit day one.
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now. So there are a number of things on day one.
She hit the pandemic.
Well, let's start with the fact that when Joe Biden and I came in office, during the height of a pandemic, we saw over 10 million jobs were lost. People, I mean, literally, we were all tracking the numbers. Hundreds of people a day were dying because of COVID. The economy had crashed. In large part, all of that because of mismanagement by Donald Trump of that crisis.
And she hit a few things that I personally have been annoyed that Democrats haven't hit harder. thinking that she's weak on the economy.
When we came in, our highest priority was to do what we could to rescue America. And today, we know that we have inflation at under 3%. A lot of our policies have led to the reality that America recovered faster than any wealthy nation around the world. But you are right. Prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it, which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price gouging, what we need to do to extend the child tax credit to help young families be able to take care of their children in their most formative years, what we need to do to bring down the cost of housing. My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers, so they can just have enough to put a down payment on a home, which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
And then there is the issue of the border. See, I'm old enough to remember when you have been verified to be responsible for tanking a border bill, you don't then also get to accuse your opponent of screwing up the situation on the ground.
I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to
Not
ask
only
about
push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
And last but certainly not least, character. No, New York Times, I mean character like integrity and honesty, not are you a character from a bad 1940s era political thriller.
When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism. I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation, and I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
VP nominee Tim Walz was there as well to stand on business involving his record and his son.
Governor, a moment that you shared, that the world shared with your son, Gus. You were speaking, the camera caught him, so incredibly proud of you, so emotional, saying, "That's my dad."
Yeah, I don't know as a father I could have ever imagined that. I'm grateful for so many reasons to be on this ticket, but that moment, to understand what was really important, to have my son feel a sense of pride in me, that I was trying to do the right thing. And it was, you try and protect your kids, it brings notoriety and things, but it was just such a visceral, emotional moment that I'm grateful I got to experience it, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him, I'm proud of Hope, I'm proud of Gwen. She's a wonderful mother, and these are great kids. And I think the one thing is, talking about the era we're in, is our politics can be better. It can be different. We can show some of these things, and we can have families involved in this. And I hope that there was a hope people felt that out there, and I hope they hug their kids a little tighter, because you just never know, and life can be kind of hard.
I, for one, am inspired by the relationship he has with his kids. I consider it goals, and I made a whole video about it. Now, some things were left unaddressed. And then there was this moment right here.
Fact, Dana, excuse me. Fact, Dana, excuse me.
Now imagine that, the juxtaposition of immediately correcting yourself for honestly mispronouncing somebody's name when your name has been intentionally butchered by the other side in the laziest, sloppiest dog whistle we have seen since, I don't know, welfare queens. I mean, Clancy Moose went on this same network.
So pronounce her name right.
Let me actually
pronounce her name right.
Kamala Harris. If
Kamala.
I were a man,
You said this when I called you Nancy
what I want.
And then had the nerve to say,
he can go toe-to-toe with her on women's issues. I feel very confident about that.
once again asserting the rights and their advocacy for women, leaving us nowhere to go with her disrespect but the obvious.
That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
Give them enough rope, they always do it. Now, speaking of women, some people were not here for Dana Bash. Now, I'll say this. It was a tough interview, and yes, she echoed a ton of Trump talking points, but I'm not going to jump out the window on her just yet, because there's a possibility that this was the kind of interview that the Harris-Walz campaign wanted. Maybe they wanted to respond to those questions and the right-wing talking points about her and her record. It's a possibility. However, at the same time that Kamala Harris was responding to these attacks, Trump, meanwhile...
So now she doesn't talk about it. Do you notice she doesn't talk about climate change anymore? She's not talking about it. You know why? Because people don't want to hear it. They want to live a good life. They want to live a life. They don't want to stop your industry with climate change. They used to call it different things, global warming, remember? That wasn't working because it was getting a little bit cooler, so they said, what are we going to do? We'll call it global cooling? No. So they came up with the words climate change. You take a look at bacon and some of these products, and some people don't eat bacon anymore. And we are going to get the energy prices down. When we get energy down, you know, this was caused by their horrible energy wind. They want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem.
So the lady I just heard being grilled, she running against the dude talking about the bacon and the wind?
Because the jobs the people that are coming in are just taken. And it's going to start with the black population. African Americans are losing their jobs. And I don't know if you heard the latest statistic that of the jobs that these people created, which is very little, every single job was taken, about 107%, was taken by illegal immigrants. There's been no job creation from them.
107. So, wow, that means this job, so I must be illegal, and also a job I haven't even created yet.
Well, do we have a president? He just got back from California. He was supposed to go to the White House. He never got there. He went to Delaware, and he's laying on a beach sleeping all day long. No, seriously, who the hell wants to sleep? And who wants to sleep in public? He's sleeping.
I've only seen one person sleep in public recently.
Well, it's not going to work. And with that, I yield back.
You know, every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping, as you say, I think he's praying.
Thank you. Great job. What a beautiful young daughter. What a beautiful young daughter.
Run! Run! Get to the chopper! No, I said the chopper, not the plane. Because we know where that plane has been.
Nobody really knows her. They were doing something, the man on the street, they said, you know Harris? Everyone's saying, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows who Harris is. What's the vice president's name? They have no idea what the name is. Now, the name Kamala is, it's a little complex because about 19 different ways of pronouncing it, right? But Kamala is, at least it's a name you sort of remember. You can't use Harris because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. Who's Harris? We want somebody they know, and, one of the reasons they don't know, she did a lousy job.
They actually have a program to help you with that now. And yes, it's taught by children.
First you say comma like a comma in a sentence. Then you say la like la 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 la.
Put it together and it's 1, 2, 3, Kamala.
So in the last year, I think I had 9 indictments, far more than Alphonse Capone, who was quite well known in Chicago and the environs. He liked killing people, but he had nothing like me.
Wait, so we really just gonna nitpick the one late? He talking about Al Capone, and that's when he not talking about Hannibal Lecter.
You get a lot of those questions because Minnesota, they picked this guy. He is weird. Right? He's weird. I'm not weird. He's weird. No, he's a weird guy. He's a weird dude.
Now, this was just sad on a number of fronts. For one, Trump, you realize that you're only here to be brash and insulting. You realize that, right? You realize they like you because you are a bull in a china shop of all things respectful. That is why they like you. If you just gonna get lazy with your insults, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. You are being held to a higher standard of offense. Also, it looks like he inadvertently gave up the game. The fact that pretty much I know you are, but what am I has been their response to all things substantive. You passed Veterans Choice, I claim I passed Veterans Choice. You have the lowest ever black unemployment, I claim I had the lowest ever black unemployment. Now it's starting to make sense. He crashing and burning. Somebody need to take his microphone.
That's no good. And we're not going to let it happen. They can build their plant. They're not going to have any cars coming into this country. If they want to build a plant, they can. They're going to build.
Well, you tried. Small victories. At least he didn't draw attention to J.D. Vance.
They come up with sound bites. They always have sound bites. And one of the things is that J.D. and I are weird. That guy is so straight. J.D. is he's doing a great job, smart.
Oh, you mean this J.D. Vance?
You on Twitter posted a clip from a Miss Teen USA beauty pageant from 2007, Caitlin Upton, and you wrote, "I have gotten a hold of the full Kamala Harris CNN interview." Now, this thing that surfaced around the internet for a few years, she struggled answering a question back in this beauty pageant. I'm not sure you're aware, in 2015, Caitlin Upton did an interview with New York Magazine about all the social media attention this clip got, and she said, "I definitely went through a period where I was very, very depressed, but I never let anybody see that stuff except for people I could trust. I had some very dark moments where I thought about committing."
Yeah, that is solid. That is solid to help you with the women, and that is not weird, because who doesn't still use that clip on the regular to insult men?
He can go toe-to-toe with her on women's issues. I feel very confident about that.
Thank you. Great job. What a beautiful young daughter. What a beautiful young daughter.
All right, media, I'm going to need to holler at y'all real quick.
When it comes to our economy, Kamala Harris doesn't even know how it works. She never has. She wants the government to take over the economy.
Wait, but didn't y'all just say that she was responsible for Biden's economy? You can't say both.
So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no bounce.
She got a 4-point bounce, and
No
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce,
Oh, you
Jessica.
got no bounce.
Look at the polls.
Okay.
And
I
she's
do
now
look at the
down
polls.
in all the battleground
That's not
states.
true.
Real clear, check it out.
Okay.
Right now, in the break, I'll prove you wrong.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. With fewer than 70 days until the presidential election, we are releasing new Fox polls from key Sunbelt states, and it's anyone's ball game, as you can see right here.
You know what, Fox News, get out. Get out. All the rest of the media, other than Fox News, let me holler at y'all real quick. Now, I let Dana Bash slide because I don't know what the conversations were before this interview about whether or not this was what they wanted. But this double standard where we are nitpicking each and everything that Kamala Harris has to say and trying to find holes to exploit for the right, while this guy is meandering on about bacon, Al Capone, and wind needs to end immediately. There is no way he would have been able to sit there and deal with the grilling that she just dealt with from Dana Bash. There's no way.
Nobody believes that. And I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
Because he's too old. Point blank. Same reason why Donald Trump probably shouldn't be running.
That's the kind of honesty I'm going to need from y'all from here on out.
Administration, they won't even know what's happening. They'll take every single job. You're not going to have any auto workers within 2 years, maybe 3 years. Nobody's going to be making cars here.
That message, however, getting mixed reviews at a pit stop in Boston, where Senator J.D. Vance got booed at the International Association of Firefighters convention.
I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions.
Governor Tim Walz received a standing ovation at the same event on Wednesday.
Now, Fox News, that's better. That is better. We got to work on baby steps. Baby steps. I'm gonna need 50 jumping jacks, 100 push-ups, and 10 honest reports every morning. Okay, that's before breakfast. Sincere thanks to everybody who's reached out to me and submitted suggestions for videos. Keep them coming. I take submissions for ideas for a video, suggestions for Racist of the Week. If you have something that just troubles you, or you just want to send me a note, because I love getting those notes, go ahead and shoot me an email at reese@reesewaters.com. I also have a newsletter that I send out periodically, so you'll be receiving that as well. You can also sign up on my website, reesewaters.com.